Defending unity and constitutional order in Spain is our mission.
Better get ready for some serious shit, sir! The VC are attacking everywhere!
Protecting the integrity of the Spanish territory against any type of enemy, be it exterior or interior, is our objective. This is our job. And we are proud to develop it to the last drop of our blood. But what happens from that moment when a Spanish soldier falls wounded? Or when a person somewhere in the world needs immediate health help? This video explains how our military healthcare evacuation and support chain works. And we will explain which was, and how it was organized, what was the largest sanitary military unit in Spain, the Role 3 Campaign Hospital Group, AgruHoc. It was active until 2019, when the current social communist government of Dr. Sanchez dismantled it. Spain was one of the few countries in the world with such a military health unit. Today, a Role 3 hospital unit is only available in the armed forces of USA, France, UK, Germany, Italy, Canada, and Czechoslovakia. In Spain, the basic combat unit is the platoon, squad in the USA, and consists of a command, first cape or sergeant, and 2 squads, of 4 soldiers each one. We know that the first 10 minutes, after being wounded, are essential in the soldier's life. If acted upon at this time, your chance to live is increased by 50%. And in percentages, these are the areas of the soldier that usually suffer the greatest injuries during combat. Based on all this, this individual combat kit, BIC, was designed and is provided in the Spanish Armed Forces. It consists of the following elements, and main use. 1 pair of heavy-duty gloves. 1 Celix applicator, syringe, capable of stopping bleeding, even of arterial origin. 1 disinfectant spray, that serves to neutralize the spread of diseases or infections, such as hepatitis or HIV. As it does not contain alcohol, it can be used on mucous membranes, eyes and mouth. 1 chest patch, which is an occlusive dressing, to treat penetrating chest wounds. 1 Celix impregnated bandage, to stop severe bleeding, coagulates in 30 seconds. 1 thermal blanket. 1 scissors cut close. 1 tourniquet, effective, to completely shut off limb blood flow with significant bleeding. 1 Israeli-type emergency bandage, which can be applied by the wounded person, and with the auto-closing. 1 sacket, with anti-burn wipes. And finally, 3 guide cards, for different health contingencies. In the Spanish platoon, one of his riflemen usually also acts as a health officer, although he is not a trained male nurse, but with limited medical assistance capabilities. To alleviate this, and since 2017, as in other armies, the figure of the paramedic is available. The paramedic does not substitute for doctors, male nurses, or sanitary. But because of the training they received in life support techniques, they are able to perform intubation tasks, set up routes, or administer medications. The role term is applied to the medical capabilities that a military health unit is capable of offering and is organized into 4 levels or roles. We are going to know, according to NATO classification, the 4 roles existing in the healthcare support chain and military evacuation. Role 1, comprehensive medical support, is part of battalion-type military units, 500 to 650 soldiers. This Role 1 is also the one installed in the nursing of the frigates and oceanic patrol ships of the Navy. It includes the medical services that we see on the screen. Role 2 medical support is assigned to brigade-type military units, 4,500 to 6,000 soldiers. In addition to being installed on LPH and BAC type of strategic projection Navy ships, it includes the following medical capabilities. Role 3 medical support is assigned to division-type military units, 10,000 to 15,000 soldiers. It includes the following medical capabilities. A Role 3 hospital offers all the capabilities of Role 4, but in the field, without the need for the patient to be evacuated to the country of origin. Finally, Role 4 medical support is what the armed forces can offer from their own military hospitals in their country of origin. Currently, Spain has the military hospitals of Madrid, with 600 beds, and Zaragoza, with 150 beds, and 6 other military clinics in Ceuta, Melilla, Valencia, Cartagena, Ferrol, and Cadiz. It includes the following medical capabilities. Apart from the sanitary levels, by type of role, it is necessary to take into account the means of transport available, and which are part of the critical evacuation process. In this graph, we see at the tactical and strategic level, the means available by type of army of our armed forces. The land vehicles shown are armored mobile UVIs that, in less than 1 hour, must have taken any injured person to a Role 1 or Role 2 military health unit. The air and tactical aircrafts will transfer the seriously wounded in less than 24 hours to Role 1, Role 2, or Role 3 military health units. Finally, the strategic and air-type aircrafts will be in charge of transferring the seriously and very seriously wounded from 24 to 72 hours to Role 4 hospitals. Within the Spanish Army, and depending on the so-called force, is the Operational Logistics Force, FLO, among other units. And one of the units that depend on this Operational Logistics Force is the Health Brigade, BRIZN. Before continuing, it is necessary to refer to the stable health structure in the Spanish territory. Under the dependency of the Subsecretariat of Defense is the General Health Inspectorate, which manages the entire network of military hospital facilities. Currently, Spain has 2 military hospitals, 6 clinics, and many other specific services of the military health corps. The Health Brigade, BRISN, is a group of specialized health units for logistical support in combat, with a staff of approximately 1,000 people. The organization of BRISN, until 2019, was as follows. Sanitary Groups 1 and 2, AGRUZN, which today are small roll 2E, improved, sanitary units of the regiment entity. They can support brigade-type military units, 4,000-5,000 soldiers. And they allow framing and generating larger sanitary formations, with their own logistical capacity. The Sanitary Logistics Support Unit, WALSUN, is also a small unit, capable of framing and organizing sanitary supply and maintenance. It is a battalion entity, and is in charge of serving AGRUZN 1 and 3, and the now disappeared AGRU-HAWK. And finally, there is the Campaign Hospital Group, AGRU-HAWK, the protagonist of this video, and dissolved in 2019 by the Social Communist government of Dr. Sanchez. We are at a Spanish military base, located in northern Afghanistan, and where the Spanish Roll 3 Campaign Hospital, HOC, is located. Let us explain, before focusing on explaining the HOC, the organizational structure of a health base that does not, logically, house combat units. This is the decided deployment area, into which, first of all, members of the Logistics Support Unit, WALSUN, and personnel from a company of engineers moved. In the first place, the accommodation for 1 logistics aggregation company, and 1 engineering company, were raised. These are prefabricated barracks, supported on adjustable piles. In second place, the water tank, solar energy panels, and laundry were installed. Barracks are installed for a reinforced parachute brigade company, in charge of the security of the compound, and logistical support tasks for the base. Barracks are erected for the staff of the Healthcare Logistics Group, in charge of supporting the HOC, in services and supplies. The warehouses, that will serve for the reception, storage and distribution at the base, of all the support material and life of the same. The barracks are set up to house the heliport staff, members of the Navy, and the Air Force of the Army, who will carry out logistical tasks. And also medical rescue and evacuation. The exterior wall, and the 2 entrances to the base, are erected with concrete panels. The interior lighting of the base is installed. The base security checkpoints are set up. As it does not contain military combat units, only the first level of security is installed with the main wall. The essential pavement areas are paved, representing 11% of the total base's surface. Barracks are set up for the base personnel, in charge of the services of laundry, bakery, communications, IT, and other services. The kitchens, bakery and dining rooms barracks are set up. The gas station is built. The vehicle maintenance structure and workshop are assembled, as well as the external fuel tanks, aviation and vehicles. Barracks for firefighters and personnel are set up. 3 existing buildings are adapted inside the base as a civil guard post, in charge of internal security missions and external support. 3 stores are set up, and 3 interior buildings of the base are adapted for the base command headquarters and the campaign hospital, HOC. The barracks for the personnel of the base command posts and the campaign hospital, HOC, are installed. 4 car-covered car parks and external parking areas are built. Sports areas are prepared, gym, basketball court, and vending area. A supermarket is built for the base personnel. The 13 conditioned tents are installed for the sanitary personnel of the campaign hospital, HOC. The campaign hospital is installed, that we will describe in the third and last video of the series. Tents for the NRBQ disinfection area are installed. And finally, the barrack for the treatment of hospital waste, and of the waste generated by the base itself, is set up. The Campaign Hospital Group had a Campaign Hospital, HOC, created in 2007, but which was not operational until 2013, due to the global economic crisis. The HOC was a deployable health logistics training for diagnosis and medical surgical treatment and hospitalization, as well as specialized in pharmaceutical services, with Role 3 capacity and support for division-type military units, 15,000 to 20,000 soldiers. It allowed to fill the gap, which we now have again, between the AGRUS and Role 2, which operate in the combat zone, and the Gomez Hola Military Hospital, in Madrid, Role 4, which now requires an enormous expenditure of time, resources and means of air and naval transportation, to Spain. Today, the sanitary gap, between Role 2 and Role 4, is covered using civilian hospitals from friendly countries, in the combat zone itself or the natural disaster area. Installed on a single ground floor, the complete HOC needed to set up 40 large stores, and 130 modular containers for its activity, occupying the space of 140,000 square meters, only the HOC. It had a cost of €27 million and, after its dissolution, its material went on to reinforce AGRUS 1 and 3. Due to the complex assembly required by the HOC, its deployment had to be projected for periods of time greater than 1 year. It needed a total assembly and installation time of 25 days for the basic HOC, and 35 days for the complete HOC. Apart from the logistical transfer times to a deployment area of all the necessary vehicles and materials. At the industrial level, the experience and commercial products of the German company Zeppelin Mobile System were available. This company is a world leader in the design and construction of modular hospitals, based on specialized stores and containers. The HOC is a true polyclinic hospital or Role 4, but housed in stores and containers that could be deployed anywhere in the world, in support of our armed forces. The HOC was organized in 4 hospital areas or subdirections, which were: Central Services Area, which included the following services: Surgical Services Area, which included the following services: Medical Services Area, which included the following services: and the support and services area, which included the following services. The HOC, due to its modularity, allowed its installation and assembly, depending on the type of support requested, and the size of the military unit that required it, or to the type of natural or social disaster, to which it had to attend sanitary. Initially, the full campaign hospital had 96 hospital beds, with a great capacity for expansion as needed. It provided specialized hospital and outpatient assistance, both to its own forces, and to the local civilian population. This was the basic campaign hospital. It was deployed when a small number of casualties were anticipated, or the military unit was less than brigade. It consisted of the blocks of command, reception, emergencies and classification, surgical, ICU, hospitalization, with 48 beds, radiology, laboratory, pharmacy, and maintenance. All these healthcare capabilities, being a modular hospital, allowed them to be expanded, as far as necessary. This was the great advantage of this type of modular sanitary facilities, against the fixed facilities. This was the intermediate campaign hospital, deployed when a normal number of casualties were expected, giving medical support to military units below division. It consisted of the blocks of transfusion and hemodonation, prevention, mortuary, changing rooms, laundry, feeding, hospitalization, with 76 beds, and increases the capacities of external consultations. The surgical block had 3 single operating rooms, and another double one, with 2 operating beds. Each operating room could be working for 18 hours a day, reaching a maximum of 60 hours per day, among the 4 operating rooms. In the case of surgical repair operations, the maximum surgical capacity was between 15 to 20 surgeries per day, in 20 different specialties. And this was the full field hospital. It was deployed when a large number of casualties were expected, supporting division type, or higher military units. It reinforced all the blocks of the intermediate HOC, but increasing the hospitalization area to 96 beds. Initially, it had 16 beds in the intensive care unit, ICU. It had a daily healthcare capacity of up to 80 casualties, 40 P1, which are in which the patient is in imminent danger of death, and another 40 P2, in which the patient had a death risk of less than 6 hours. In addition, the HOC had an area specialized in CPR and disinfection, and another for the treatment of hospital waste generated. The complete campaign hospital, as a basic healthcare template exclusively, had the following personnel: 24 doctors, 2 pharmaceuticals, 1 veterinarian, 1 dentist, 34 nurses and assistant health personnel, and 38 troops,